So the holy day of Yom Kippur is upon us. The Baal Shem HaKadosh, it says in Sefer Imre Pinchas, the Mezbesh in the city of the Baal Shem, they once wanted to stop the minig of the plates with tzedakah because it was making too much noise. People are coming and throwing in the coins, and it was too much of a bulbul. So by mincha, they wanted to stop it. Erev Yom Kippur should stop those plates. Baal Shem Tov didn't let. So he explained that one year there was a big kitrig. All the koichei sarah, the klipos, got together and they wanted to do bad for Klal Yisrael. And then when the sounds of the tzedakah of Erev Yom Kippur on those coins that knocked on the plates, it pushed them aside, and Nisparda HaChavila, it just stopped all those koiches atumas, says the Baal Shem. The Baal Shem once came to a city and he asked the people who the Baal Tfilah in the Amid, who davened Yom Kippur, what's his customs, like what does he do? So the people said he has a very interesting custom. When it comes to vidui, of the Averis, of Al Chait and Ashamnu, he sings it with a real happy march. And the Baal Shem said, who's the Baal Tfilah? Can I please meet him? The Baal Tfilah was the Rav of his city, and he asked to meet the Rav, and he meets the Rav and he asks him, why? What's the shirish and what's the root of your custom that you sing by al chetz? Like, why would you sing by al chetz? So the Rav asked the Baal Shem, there's a servant that cleans out the toilets in the palace. He cleans the most dirtiest places in the palace, and he hums a song when he's cleaning that palace. Why? Because he's so happy that he's making it easier for the king. The king will be able to come into a clean, acceptable place. Holy Rebbe, when I say the Al Chetz, we're getting rid of our Averis. So I'm so happy that Hashem He has a place where to come, Kaviyachol. He has a clean place, he has clean children. And that's why I sing. So Baal Shem Tov said, Yichelki imach, I wish I would be like you. And then there's the famous story, the Yitzchok said it from the Baal Shem, that once the Baal Shem saw that there's a big gezeira on Klal Yisrael, and he was ma'ir b'tfilah, and the Talmidim saw that the Rabbi was so uptight and so concerned, and he was marich b'tfilah, he davened very long and with very serious, and all the other people in the shul also realized that something's up, and we gotta be mechazik b'tfilah, and the tefillahs were taking so long, a whole day Yom Kippur. And there's a famous thing that there was a boy there that didn't know how to daven. He just had a whistle that he used to whistle, and he told his father, he didn't know how to daven, so he told his father, let me blow my whistle. I see everyone's davening, I want to daven also, let me blow that whistle. And his father tells him, no, don't blow the whistle in the middle of the shul. Then afterwards, a little time went by, and he tells him, Father, I have to blow my whistle for Hashem. I can't daven, I got to blow my whistle. His father knew that it was in his pocket, so his father put his hand on the pocket that he shouldn't be able to take out that whistle. And that's the way the father was davening. And then when it came to Ne'ilah, and all the Talmidei Baal Shem were into davening, and it took so long, and everyone was so worried because they saw how the Baal Shem was so worried about everything. And then all of a sudden the father for a minute let go of that pocket, and the son grabbed that whistle, and he gave such a blow on that whistle, and the whole shul was quiet. But a few seconds later, all of a sudden the Baal Shem had a smile, and he just finished the whole davening, 1, 2, 3, finished Ne'ilah. And it came Matzi Yom Kippur, and they asked the Baal Shem, what's going on? What happened? Baal Shem said it was big zeira on Klal Yisrael, but that whistle did it all. And the Yitzchok Yisrael says, "Vi nennt man az a pfeifer?" Where do we get such a whistle? Which meant to say, where do we get such purity of heart that has the koyach and the strength to be mevatel gezeiros? And that's really what we should be focused on, our purity of heart. It's not so much what we do as how we do it and the thoughts behind it. The Badutchevirav, it came Matzi Yom HaKadosh, Matzi Yom Kippur, and he said, Levi Yitzchok, You're such a liar. You said today, Chatu, Avu, Pashu, Klal Yisrael sinned. Klal Yisrael didn't sin. You're a liar, Levi Yitzchok. That's what he told himself. And then he says, Anu Malei Oven, the Beditzvi Rav says, Anu Malei Oven, we're full of sins. Va'atam Malei Rachem, and you Hashem, you're full of mercy. So he told Hashem like this, Anu Malei Oven, he says, how big is Levi Yitzchok? Levi Yitzchok is not that big, so I'm full of sins. Va'ata, and you Hashem, you're endless. You're Ein Sof, you're limitless. And you're Malei Rachmim. So take my Malei Oven against your Malei Rachmim, it's nothing. And just finish off with, in a sefer here from the Ramatel Slonima, he brings down that he had a first hand. The Kuprina Rav was in Tveria, and he said how his father went once to the Beditzvi Rav for Yom Kippur, and when he finished that day of Yom Kippur, he said, Ich will keimel nicht zurückgehen zu ihm. I'm never going to go back to Beditzvi Rav in Yom Kippur. I gehalten the neshama in the hand, which means I almost fainted, I almost went out, I almost died from it. Why? Because Beditzvi Rav, he had such malachtike koiches, and he came in. I saw somewhere that he came in already Yom Kippur, Erev Yom Kippur in the afternoon. The whole town was already in shul and crying for Tibuchayz b'tshuva, and then he started Kol Nidre, and in the middle of Kol Nidre he said a pshetel on moide b'knas poter, and which means that if someone is moide, if someone comes and says that I sinned, so by a knas we say that he doesn't have to pay. And then Beditzvi Rav went on with Kol Nidre till after Chatzos Halayla. So it came after Chatzos Halayla, everyone was famished and tired, and they thought they gave the guests places, such mats to lie down on in a room, and the person that's saying this, the narrator, he's saying that I thought, okay, let me get a couple of hours of sleep. He says a couple of minutes later, Beditzvi Rav storms in. What did the Kohen Gadol do in the Beis HaMikdash? And he started being Ma'oyer the Oilam, and everyone got up because of his bren, and he told them all about the Kohen Gadol, and then he left, he went out, and then the man was so tired, and so he says, okay, I thought now till daybreak at least I'll be able to sleep a couple of hours. He says 15 minutes later, Beditzvi Rav was back with the koch, and he says, what did the Kohen Gadol do? And he started talking about the Avodah in the Kohen Gadol in Beis HaMikdash, and this went on every 15 minutes. He went out and then he came back in because he was so consumed with an Eish HaKodesh, and the people were so tired, but they got so into it and so nislaiv. At daybreak already he started Adon Olam, and he went straight through the day till deep in the middle of the night, and then afterwards he didn't eat or drink anything. He said, I'm chafachalished, I need that Gemara. Finally they brought him the Gemara because the whole day he wasn't learning, so he said he gave the Gemara. So the Tzadikim said, and when we talk about the Beditzvi Rav, it's Amtakas Adinim, so we should have a good year and a sweet year on Klal Yisrael.